Hello, everyone. Hello, PhD. We're PhD, but hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to our podcast.
We hope
We are very excited, in fact.
that you enjoyed the first one.
We do hope that you enjoyed the first one.
And we're back.
We are back.
We're talking about the basics.
Today, we are going to educate all of you, poor listeners, to the basics.
And what is the definition of basics? Can we get that pulled up, please? Let's get that pulled up. Jethro.
Basics?
We got Jethro in the back here.
Oh, that's a band.
Well,
So
we're not
basics.
talking about the Australian band
We're not
today,
talking about the
but
Australian
we're talking about the
band.
basics, whether that be the basics of life, the basic in work, the essential facts or principles of a subject or skill.
The basics, baby.
The basics. So we're talking about the basics in everything, honestly.
That's right. In life.
So honestly, one thing that I want to, bring up, me and Placeholder here, we like to give and gab a little bit.
We like to
the show.
jab on a little bit.
Right. So we're kind of getting a little warmed up, just kind of chatting about shit in life in general. We're gonna get demonetized because I accidentally swore in the first 30 seconds.
Balls.
We can do what needs to be happened. It is what it is. Anyways, the basics of what I want to get into. So we were talking about how, getting jobs these days, it's just not easy. Okay?
And that's, that's the way it is. It's not easy.
It's just not easy.
It just isn't.
And so we were talking about what is the problem and why is it so difficult to get a job these days?
And we're here, as we've experienced in our lives so far, in our very young, short-lived lives,
Kind of talk about what we think.
and where we plan on moving forward, and how it can help you to also move forward.
Exactly.
Hopefully,
exactly.
maybe, I don't know.
So one thing that I kind of want to start this off with, I found this very interesting video. Okay. And what it talked about is basically how before it was basically you could work a job, you could move up, you would be like,
I'm gonna grab my water.
I start at whatever. I start at, a peon, let's just say, in the company. And I work my way up from being a peon to not as big of a peon. We got Placeholder big gulping. I'm actually going to take a little sip myself here.
Oh, God. Oh.
So you work your way up from being a peon
Mhm.
until you go to the next level. And you go to the next level. And you go to the next level. But here's the problem. What do you do when all of the upper levels are already filled?
I guess you just have to go for the lower levels, right?
Right? And then once all the lower levels are filled, what do you do after that?
Well, I don't know. What do you do?
Well, that's the thing. You just fucking fight for scrap. That's where we're at right now. Because all the higher positions are filled. Now all the basic positions are filled. And so you can't even get experience to get into another job.
Into that field.
How do you feel about that?
Not great. But to be honest, the way that things have been going steadily for the past since I've been alive,
Right.
things aren't great for us.
Right.
The
basics that we have are being eroded, basically.
That's right.
So, if you're worried about that, look at the snack that smiles back. Not goldfish, but the money.
Oh.
That's the snack that smiles back, baby, because that's all we want. Dinero, dinero, dinero. We are getting very controversial off the bat already. I like it.
I suppose so. See, now, this is where me and my lovely co-hosts do disagree. I would say, at these days and times, the peons, if we're not making money, we might as well just enjoy what we have. You still need to live. Don't get me wrong.
I agree.
Don't be a bumming around. But I'd rather live in squalor with my thousands of friends than be at the top with, I don't know, a dog.
No, I agree. See, and that's where you gotta have a nice mix, and that's the problem right now. We don't have that mix.
That's right.
The people at the top are just kind of
stinky. They're sucking.
They're siphoning it all.
They're taking my money. All my money.
I want my money.
I want my money.
I want my money back.
I want my goddamn money. Please.
And so we're just kind of here, we're waiting. We're hoping that we get the opportunity for us to make it too. Mm-hmm. And that's why, we're here we're listening. You're educating. Sorry.
That's why we again bring you this to hopefully let you learn. and elevate yourself so that you may become not only financially stable, but mentally and, might I say, spiritually stable.
So, kind of getting into the basics.
We're just gonna lay out some ground. We're gonna go over some thoughts, perhaps, of where we're going from here. And we wanted to start. Oh, this is a classroom after all.
Right.
We might as well go over the basics of our education system here.
Right.
Here in this classroom that you're in right now, not the United States one. That's that's a can of worms that we will inevitably face in the future. But nonetheless, what do we got here?
So, the thing about this podcast, we come in with a topic, okay? We come in with a lesson plan.
That's right.
But as lessons plans always do, as plans do in general, sometimes they go off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we go off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And while we are educating you, and while we are the expert, sometimes we ramble.
That's right.
And so we are going to be talking about a variety of different subjects, and that's the big thing. Making sure. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Not to place off, but we have been here. How long has it been? Like, actually, it's been an hour and a half. About we've been here talking about just different work related stuff. We already have had many a conversation.
Yeah.
We didn't record any of that. You didn't really want to listen to that, and to be honest, we don't really want to put that out there.
No, definitely not.
But just to break the illusion, we've been here for a while.
We have.
And we're honestly having a good time.
Yeah, we are. And the thing is, we both have a lot to talk about. Like, genuinely, we have a lot of opinions. Some of them you might not like. We talked about this kind of in the last episode a little bit.
I hope you don't like mine, actually.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. If you don't like it, that just means that you're learning something.
Or you're stupid.
So, what's something that we kind of want to get into basics? Let's talk about the basics of what we're doing. What are we doing right now? So, if anyone themselves is kind of interested in, getting into, let's say, production or kind of creation.
Creating stuff in the modern world for, I guess, to make
modern
money.
People.
We live in a unfortunate time where you can kind of just type into a computer and the thing you want. It's not going to be like soulful, no matter like how good it looks. It doesn't really have any soul.
Right.
But you can do it.
Yeah, that's the thing is, with the introduction of how AI has kind of, it started to bite its fangs into us. Like, I mean, personally, I'm an artist. I know I've got friends that are artists as well. And, I mean, the fact that you can just, like, bang a song and, like, you can just, like, be like, write me a retro pop whatever song. And it's not going to be, like, a great song or whatever.
But it'll be there.
But it's going to be there. Like, it just, like, is like, man, how long till, like, it's just going to be, like, people posting this slop and just, like, not even, like, monetizing real art anymore. Like, literally, like, just using some other things. And so, it is a grim reality that we're facing, but there is hope. And that's what we're here to tell you.
I'll tell you what, the hope is just that you want to do it yourself anyway.
Right.
The only reason I'm not like shaking in my boots about AI is because I like to make, I just like to make stuff.
Right.
It's not always about the end product, at least for me. I always think it's more interesting to make it. Making it is the journey,
it's
right? It's
part of the experience.
It's part of the fun.
And I mean, like, the AI, most AI stuff, it just genuinely doesn't really have, like, any soul to it. Like, it is really, like, basic, like...
It's very
formulaic.
Surface level, I'll say.
Yeah, and surface level, yeah, that's the thing. There's no depth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once you listen to it once or twice, you're like, damn. Or, like, even see it once or twice, you're like, okay, I'm done with that. But here's the thing. If you have, a lot of people, and I mean, they've been doing this, like, companies now, because you're, like, in an ad, for example, you're not looking at the art for so long. So it's like, oh, they're never going to notice. Oh, it's only, like, 10 seconds or whatever. And it's like, well.
But they do. So, and actually going off of that, sorry, I did just pull up. I would say that corporate Memphis, that's like the Google Apple, like, you've seen this art style. This very corporate
it's
art style.
Yeah.
That's how AI always feels. It's very like safe.
Painting like. Yeah, it is very like it doesn't like to take risks. It doesn't like to hope. God, it doesn't.
It's not daring.
Right, it's not daring. It doesn't like to do anything that is pushing the boundaries. Not to say that corporate Memphis isn't daring, because some stuff that I'm looking at here is looking.
Yeah, well, that was weird.
Pretty crazy, but
that was weird.
No, just like
that's not here nor there.
AI in general, because it is, it's just using an algorithm.
It's not. I mean, obviously, it can't be creative because the whole point is that it's taking everything that it's given and then making its best assumption of it.
Right.
I mean, how are we already demonetized at this point?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't think we're monetized yet anyway, so who cares?
Right, whatever.
Even
the porn.
I'm saying, like, literally.
Even the porn is I mean,
in the state that we live in, there have now, and I mean, this is a thing that is happening everywhere now because it's honestly such a problem. But people putting fucking deep fake porn.
Yeah.
Like, they'll literally get a picture of somebody they know. And then they'll put it into the AI generator. They'll have it put it onto like a fucking generator and
make porn.
Yeah, make porn and shit. Like there was literally like a big streamer that got caught doing that shit and is like doing a bunch of like, basically I don't want to say reparations but it is basically like he's doing reparations because, I mean, he like started like a whole like, what's it called, organization to basically take down deep fakes of like streamers and shit that were like popular because like it's such a problem or whatever. But it's like,
I mean, that's pretty cool, honestly.
I mean, it is pretty cool, but it is crazy that he had to get caught doing it in the first place to do that. But hey, you know what? The difference is that a lot of people could have just been like, well, you know what? It's my choice or whatever. But he admitted that it was weird.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird. Let's
not
get that wrong.
No, it is
normal.
Weird.
Watching normal porn, kind of weird. At least if you're doing it on a normal basis, I'll say. Like, I don't know. I got onto this topic.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I'd say watching normal porn is that weird, but watching deepfake porn is definitely.
That's definitely weird. That's weird. That's freak shit.
Because like, here's the thing. It depends. Because like, you could just be like, in general, like a horny person.
Yeah.
And so then you watch porn a lot. But if you're, but here's the thing. This is where it gets weird. If you start to watch porn just to watch porn, you're not like doing it for the express. Like you're not trying to. Oh my god, this is.
I know this is an interesting one.
I know this is already. This is crazy.
I'll say I bring this up because that's like the first immediate
here.
thing. That's like the first immediate thing people use AI for is to slop out just porn.
Right.
Like I know you can make television or you can make videos or whatever, but like I'm just bringing that up because
Rule 34 is going crazy since the introduction of AI, bro.
But I'm just saying it doesn't have the same soul. Anybody who looks at it, I'm telling you.
Placeholder, he likes his furry porn.
I like it produced by furries for furries.
Hand drawn.
I'm never beating the furry allegations, bro. I'm telling you.
You're cooked.
I know.
You're so cooked. You are using a gorilla.
I gotta stop talking about animals too.
And you literally, you did just admit to talking about furries. Yeah, you did talk about.
I'm just saying AI, even for the porn, it just doesn't hit the same. That's my point.
Hey, like we like to take our porn all natural, okay? None of this AI slop, okay?
All right, this was an insane side tangent. I just had a point to make.
Well, the thing is we're talking about the basics, remember? And this is definitely part of the basics. Jerking it is part of the basics. You know what I mean?
Dude, actually, fuck it. We're here already.
We're already.
I'll tell you what. You want to know the human experience? It's fucking not talking about your feelings. It's jerking your it, and it's eating some good fucking burgers, dude.
Oh,
you want to talk about what it means to live like a human man?
That's true.
There you go.
Those are the basics right fucking there.
Ladies,
I'm telling you.
I don't know what it is for you. I know. I know you're flicking your bean once in a while. Oh my god.
Hey, you know what they say? There's nothing wrong with flicking your bean.
I know what you fucking human. I know we're all the same monkey on this spinning earth. Those are the basics.
We're all the same monkey.
We all need to breathe air.
Oh, God. Okay, so now that we're literally already off on this insane fucking tangent, we've launched into the stratosphere. We're gone.
It's actually really funny. We haven't known each other for like an insane long time.
Yeah.
But it is funny that our first conversation about porn is on the basics podcast.
The thing is I feel like we're both like pretty open people in general.
I like to think so.
So like, I mean, I don't really give a fuck about what I talk about. You don't really give a fuck about what you talk about. So we don't really give a fuck. We're just kind of here.
If I have a point to make and it involves any form of bodily fluid, I will make that point and I will say piss at least 3 times.
Exactly. No matter what bodily fluid is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, talking about some more of the basics.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Well, I have brought up.
I did want to talk about. You did say that hamburger is part of the basic. I love a good steak. Oh fuck, a good steak.
Here's some basics. All right. Okay. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for your steak opinions.
Okay. Steak is so peak.
I completely agree.
It's just so peak, bro. Like there's just, and the thing is, I don't know if it gets better than that meat-wise.
No, I completely, dude. Good steak. People say chicken is like one of their favorite. A good steak is unbeatable.
Yeah, no, because the thing is with chicken is, it really doesn't have that much taste in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like by itself, like if you think about it, really, all of the flavoring from chicken comes with what you're flavoring the chicken in.
Yep.
No matter like. You could get the best grade chicken ever, and if you just didn't season it, it is gonna taste like nothing.
Yeah,
like literally nothing. But steak, that's the nice thing about chicken. It could be the shittiest chicken ever, and it's gonna taste amazing, depending on how you cook it.
Well, and that's right. So, sort of on that same vein,
right?
No matter how you cook or season chicken, it tastes like chicken.
Yeah, that's true.
But a steak, baby.
Oh God.
You can cook that shit. You can undercook that. You can overcook that. You can mince that bad boy up. You can throw that on a sandwich. Throw it in a bowl.
Wrap it in bacon.
Wrap it in bacon, dude. You can, and it just soaks up all that juices, and you can marinate that bad boy, and it's just perfect.
God, now I'm so hungry, bro. You got me thinking about a giant steak.
We haven't eaten today, and we do have things to do, which, including but not limited to drinking.
Yeah, no, they're gonna go out drinking. So here's some of the basics again. If you're gonna go out drinking, maybe you should eat beforehand. But on the other hand,
I was gonna say I applaud you putting a maybe there at the start. Maybe you should do it, but
But on the other hand, you get more bang for your buck if you drink on an empty stomach.
You can fit a lot more beer in that belly.
And you get a lot drunker a lot quicker. I'm telling you. Here's actually something. So, guys, if you want to get really fucked up, do a drunk Minecraft drinking challenge. That shit is fucking peak, okay?
Sorry.
I was like, what is going on over there? Wait, hang on. You inverted it.
Oh my.
Now you're unverted. Sorry, guys. I don't know if that just destroyed you.
Oh my God.
Placeholders being a little silly goob.
I don't understand what this technology is. Anybody who's seen my videos understands that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
The thing is so we're using like these lab mics. This is gonna be a whole tangent.
As soon as I opened my mouth, I knew we were gonna.
But I have these like smaller mics that are supposed to clip on. That I lost them. I don't know where they went. I used them one time and they're gone. So
that's the way it goes.
I might find them someday. I hope.
Oh God.
But the drunk Minecraft challenge. Okay, so you take a shot starting off. Oh, and keep in mind, you've only got 3 hours to beat Minecraft to kill the Ender Dragon.
Good Christ.
Okay. So first, you take a shot. At the start of every single hour after that, you take a shot. Every time you die, you take a shot. Every time you get like an achievement or whatever, you take like a little drink, basically, of like whatever beverage you have. And then, there's something. When you go to the Nether, you take a shot, and when you go to the end, you take a shot.
Dude.
So, and every time someone else dies, everyone else drinks. So if you die, you take a shot. If someone else dies, you drink.
Okay.
So already, you take a shot starting off, okay? you're kind of drinking because like you get achievements like pretty fast in Minecraft, especially like right away in the beginning. So like I finished like one drink like probably like 30 or 45 minutes into it already. Like I was like one twisted tea down. And then because other people were also dying at the time. And then I think I died twice. So I'm 3 shots deep. And keep in mind, this is all within the first hour.
Dude.
And so then the second hour hits. We take the we take the shot at the hour. We go to the nether. So now I'm like 6 shots deep. And I'm like still drinking. And it got so bad. Like it literally, like I don't need to go over the whole thing because if you want to see it, hey, go check out DK on air. Because remember, guys, PhD is where you come to learn. You can see placeholder other places. He's got, hey, see what I did there? Placeholder in other places. If you go check out him on YouTube. I'm on DK on air, on Twitch, on YouTube. And you can check us out on Instagram as well at PhD and me on DK on air at DK.
And eventually there will come a day where I make a placeholder.
Placeholder will be up. It will be up.
One day I'll make a short.
But literally it got to the point, and I think you could see this on my stream, where I would take a shot, go to the bathroom, throw the shot up pretty much, and then come back, sit down, and have to take another one.
Jesus Christ.
And so literally I was just like flashbanging shots back to back. Like I think total I probably took like 8 or 9.
Jesus Christ.
And that's within the span of like 2.5 hours. Which like, because like 8 or 9 shots isn't that much if you're spacing it out over, not 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, you have to beat it in 3 hours. That just doesn't seem possible.
No, it is possible. We were getting pretty close, but the problem is you're good. The nether is so hard. Like the nether is really difficult because you got to get blaze powder and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you get to the nether, that's like, I only died once before that. But then once I got to the nether, I died 3 times in a row, and then it's like boom, boom, boom. Yep. 3 shots in the span of like 7 minutes.
Right. Yeah, you're
just fucked cooked. Like literally just destroyed.
Your liver's just getting punched.
The best part about that night too, and I might put a clip of this in the actual video, but I had a Subway sandwich because I was like, if I'm getting drunk, I'm gonna have a Subway sandwich for later. That was like what I was doing. Mm-hmm. So literally, I remember I was so fucking drunk, and I was gripping that thing like my life fucking depended on it. I literally had that shit between my 2 hands, and I was literally like, oh fuck, this is amazing. And I think we played like 1 round of Fortnite, and I was like, I played like for like half the game, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like,
yeah, dude, you're cooked at that point.
I was too drunk to do anything except like eat my food and then go to bed.
Yeah.
And so literally, like, I think I had got done puking though, because I was like, I'm not eating the Subway until I'm done throwing up.
Well, you had to make room.
Hey, bro, you had to make room. And I was also like, I'm not wasting this, because if I'm just going to puke it up, I'll just eat it tomorrow.
So that's actually a perfect loop that gets us back on our point.
Right.
See, what you did was instead of eating before drinking, you ate after you drank.
I did.
And it all came up.
It did all come up.
It all came up.
But you know what? I actually might have ate before that, too.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Never mind.
But maybe I didn't, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I did. I lied. Sorry, guys. I just straight up lied. I didn't drink. Or I didn't eat.
There's a lot of booze. There's a lot of food. Nobody remembers what happened that night.
Don't
Certainly
really
not
much.
DK here.
Now that we're talking about that, let's talk about the basics of drinking. And as in the basics of drinking, when was the first time you got drunk?
Oh, the first time I got drunk.
Or like the first time that you can remember really being like drunk.
Okay.
Because like I'm sure you probably had times where like you drank.
This is a crazy ass story.
Let's hear it.
So the first time I got like I remember getting throw up blasted.
Okay.
Was at my friend's 21st birthday. This is such a weird story.
Okay.
So I had my buddy, right?
Okay.
We'll call him Bradley. And then I had my other friend. His name was Thomas. We'll call him Thomas.
Bradley and Thomas. Okay.
Old Tommy boy. And these two people fucking hate each other, dude.
Okay, so already you're off to a fucking grand start.
And so it's just they have such a weird dynamic.
Wait, whose birthday is it again? Sorry.
It's Bradley's.
Bradley's birthday. Okay.
But for some reason, Tommy, he's the one hosting.
Okay, weird.
I'll say, because I swear to God, these two hate each other.
Okay. Weird dynamic.
But
already.
he's hosting, and me and the whole posse shows up. Everyone who's there at the time, right? The gang shows up, and some of Bradley's other friends. Most importantly, this one girl. We'll call her, I don't know,
Samantha.
We'll call her Samantha. That works.
Perfect.
So it's just a normal night. At first, we're drinking. I think we had some Mike's Hards, and this is why I swear to God, I will never have like a Mike's Hard or Twisted Tea ever again in my life.
Bro, Twisted Teas are so good.
I cannot anymore. They're so. It's too much. I guess. Let me get into the specifics here, right?
Okay.
So we're playing. Time goes by. We had a couple beers. We're not like litty yet.
Right. You're just chilling. You're vibing.
We're just vibing. We're waiting for one other guest to arrive. We'll call him. He doesn't need a name. He knows who he is. And he's like
Voldemort.
Yeah, we'll call him Voldy. And we have this honey whiskey. And at this point, I'm just drinking
the Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels honey whiskey.
Fuck, that shit is good.
And we were just playing poker this night, and we're all having a good time. It's maybe an hour and a half in, and I get this red Solo cup.
Oh no!
And I fill that bastard up. I didn't have a shot of that. I didn't have like a little drink of that.
Okay.
I drank, I'm telling you, half a red Solo cup of Jack Daniels honey whiskey.
Holy fuck. Just nothing else. Just
nothing else.
Great.
Now, there was a splash of Coca-Cola in there.
Right.
So there, it's kind of a cocktail.
Just a tiny bit.
We threw that in there, and I downed that bad boy. I can't even remember. See, this is where things get hazy.
Right.
I downed that motherfucker.
This is where things get weird.
Instantly.
Oh, fuck. So you just took that thing, threw it back, and go.
Well, yeah. Maybe an hour goes by, and I'm drinking this bad boy.
Okay. So you sipping.
Mm-hmm. I'm sipping, and then we're done playing poker, and my friend arrives. This is what I remember. My friend Voldy, he arrives.
Okay.
And he starts drinking with us, and he has to go outside because he kind of just got off work, and he's kind of not pacing himself, right? He like downed like a Mike's Hard, and just immediately throws up off of Tommy's balcony.
Bro.
So we're all joking with him, we're all poking fun at him, and we're all like making sure he's okay or whatever.
Okay.
Things you do. But at some point, we all just start like a little fire, because we're now all outside.
Right.
Bro is low-key dying, that's neither here nor there. But
is he still out? Is he like outside with you, kind of?
Yeah, he's outside. Okay. So
he's watching the fire being built.
Yeah,
just fucking.
He's like up a flight of stairs.
Okay.
Just sitting over their balcony, just barfing.
All right. That's fucking amazing.
And so time goes by. I'm out of my gourd, and me and this girl were like, you know what we should do? We should split this Mike's Hard lemonade.
Okay.
And dude, I am telling you, never mix a Mike's Hard with anything. Anything, dude.
Ooh,
I've never had a good experience with Mike's Hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, Mike's Hard are different than Twisted Teas, though.
They're devious.
Bro, I don't fuck with Mike's Hards. They like fuck up my stomach crazy. There's something in them. Like, there's something, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So. Me and this girl, right?
Okay.
We end up like
Shoddy.
Yeah, me and Shoddy are here. We end up like having a good time. We're sharing this Mike's Hard. And I used to go to school. Like, I didn't really know this girl, but I went to school with her or whatever. Right. Like back in the old days.
Right.
And we're just like hanging out, and we're like, now this is where secondhand accounts come in, because I don't remember this very well. But we're rolling around, we're hanging out. We're definitely in each other's business.
Okay.
And I remember we're like talking to each other. We're drinking this Mike's Hard together. And she says something to me. She says, "Can I tell you something? You're going to laugh at me. Can I tell you something?"
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I'm where I am. I'm like, you can tell me whatever the hell you want to tell me right now.
Yeah, you are all for it.
Whatever you want.
You are all for it.
And I'm not like fucking, bedroom on top of this girl, but I am like on like over this girl right now. And she tells me, she's like, "I don't think the moon landing was real." And
so wait. Hang on. Before you continue, you're like, are you guys alone at this point? Or?
So we're off. We're kind of in our own corner.
So you're by yourself. You're like,
we're not completely out of sight, but we are definitely doing our.
You're
own
macking.
thing. Yeah, we're macking. We're around.
Okay. That is fucking crazy.
And we're just like, and she says that to me, and I couldn't process it.
That's fucking
I
crazy.
Just started fucking cracking up, bro. It completely ruins whatever's going on.
He did say you're gonna laugh.
Yeah, but to be fair, that came out of left field. There's no way I could have predicted that one.
That's crazy, bro. It's actually crazy because she was like, "You're gonna laugh at me,"
and I'm like, "No, come on." Whatever you have to say, it's not possible.
You just, I can literally see your face, bro.
Because I was just like, at first I was like, huh? And then she like starts talking to me about it, and I just start like busting out laughing, bro.
That's
like,
fucking crazy.
And she's like, I mean, we're still being playful and whatever, but I like roll over to my side, and I'm laughing so hard at this point. I like get back up to try to talk to her. I start saying some stuff. Because, I mean, I know I'm well equipped with my direction in life to know how to explain the moon landing thing for whatever reason.
Right.
But I start explaining it, I go, listen here, Samantha, and I do this number. I do the finger, like, hold on.
you literally hit her with the, wait a second.
I like start explaining, I'm like, hold on just a second.
Oh my god.
So
mid fucking story. Oh my god.
You know what part of that vomit is Mike's hard. Mike's hard.
Oh yeah.
Once you get past the lemonade, it tastes
like battery acid.
It tastes like how hospitals smell.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like coming out of me, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like trying to like re-explain myself.
Oh fuck.
Because we're still trying to finish this Mike's hard or whatever. But I'm barfing. It's over for me.
Yeah, you're cooked.
And so at some point she's like, "Yeah, I gotta go. Oh, we gotta go. I got things to do." And I was like,
"You're
Wait, don't leave me, Samantha. Come back. I gotta call you an idiot." But so she's already gone. My drinking buddy has left. I've made a fool of myself, laughing in her face, and then
that is so fucking crazy. And you hit her with that. Actually, hold on a second, please.
Yeah. Well, so I wasn't like it didn't happen. It was more of a. Well, here's why this doesn't make sense. First of all, wait, can you give me just a second?
Oh.
So anyway.
God. Oh my god.
So
that's nightmarish.
Yeah, that was my first time as like kind of leaning into my adult years being like drunk, like off my ass drunk.
Damn, I did my first experience a little sooner. Okay, let's set the scene for you. So I'm taking you back to the basics of me. This is like my first time ever fucking throwing up drinking.
Don't mind me just smacking the microphone.
I think I was like 16 at the time, allegedly.
Okay.
Because that might be a crime.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're right. Well, what are they going to hold it against you now?
Yeah, I guess it's too fucking late now. Fuck you, pigs.
Yeah. What's our senator who's in charge of us?
Kramer?
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, Skidmark Kramer.
Skidmark. Oh, bro, that is so devious. That is so devious. Okay. Anyways, so basically, it was my friend's crib. So all of these people were like 4 years older than me, so they're all like 20, 21, and that's like what you have to know. So my friend's parents went out of town. Let me see. Let's call. I'll just come up with the names as they need to be said, because honestly, I don't think I'm going to really need any. So I'm at this person's house. Everyone is there, like the entire gang is there. Basically, like Literally the entire gang, like entire group chat. So we're starting off, and like this is like the first time. Like keep in mind, I'm 16. This is like the first time I've ever really. And one thing you have to know about me, if you know me now, you would never expect this. But I was a massive. I mean, you can definitely tell, but was a massive fucking nerd. I'm still a massive fucking nerd. But you could like, I was personified as a nerd. I was a big chunky guy. I weighed like 300 pounds. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, I had like
fuck you, fat.
Hey, I love my fat homies. Okay?
Just kidding, my fat homies.
Hey, much love out there. But basically, so like, first time like really ever be invited because I wasn't cool. I wasn't one of the popular people at this point, at least. Or like it definitely was not popular, and so get invited out. The homies made jungle juice, okay? And this shit, like, I had never been around anything like this. I never even really drank because I was like a goody two shoes. Like my first time, like ever, like drinking, smoking, or anything was all in the year of me being 16 and doing acid actually.
Oh my!
All in the year of being 16. I really had a.
You had a change.
I literally had a like midlife crisis at 16 or a quarter life or whatever.
Dude, what do you like a 16th life crisis?
16th life crisis, yeah, or eighth, maybe an eighth.
Yeah, eighth life crisis.
So literally like. We're going crazy on the jungle juice. I had like 2 cups of that. Now we played this game called a bottle of rum. So like I'm already 2 cups deep.
I'm fully familiar with this game.
You played a bottle of rum?
Go ahead and explain it to our audience.
So if you guys don't know, here is a great drinking game for you guys. This game is peak. This should be in your basics list, okay? If it's not. Basics drinking game, okay? So you get a bottle of rum. No, I mean, it doesn't have to be a bottle of rum. It can be a bottle of anything. But, a hard liquor, preferably. You are basically going to be playing telephone. So the first person will start. They'll pass it to the second person and say, oh, look, here's a bottle of rum. Whoever they're handing to is going to say, a bottle of what? And then whoever's handing it to them will say, a bottle of rum. Then the person that's getting it says, oh, it's a bottle of rum. Okay? Now, it sounds simple. Not really. Kind of complicated. But where it gets fun, so now the second person is going to hand it off to somebody else. And they ask that whole sequence of questions again. But now, when they're asked a bottle of what, they have to go back to the person that asked them beforehand. So let's say you're playing with 10 people. Like, you guys have probably played telephone before. It's basically giant telephone. So, the first person hands it to the second person. They hand it to the third person. They hand it to the fourth person. Now, when the fourth person asks the third person, they have to ask the second person. They have to ask the first person. Then it has to go all the way back through, saying a bottle of rum, a bottle of rum, a bottle of rum. So like how you drink is whoever messes up. And this is why it's fun. Because no matter where you are in the chain, you can drink. If you are at the beginning, if you're at the end, if you're in the middle, you can drink. If you're the one who messes up, you're the one who's drinking. And so it kind of makes it interesting because, like not one person really gets to like get like too fucked up most of the time until, one person gets too fucked up and then they're cooked, basically.
That's over.
But we're playing this game, okay? And so, like, I'm 2 bottles of jungle juice deep. I decided beforehand, I was like, I'm going to take a dab.
Jesus Christ.
Because, when I drink, I basically almost pretty much, like, smoke with it. Like, I have to. Like, I pretty much get, like, if I don't, I get, like, sick.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that's just because I love smoking so much, for real. So I went outside, I take my dabs, I come back inside, we're playing a bottle of rum. Now, I lost like 2 or 3 times. Now, after you lose 2 or 3 times, you start to lose a lot more. And so I started to lose a lot more. A lot. And so it basically ended up, because, we're playing this game for like, I don't know, damn near like, probably like 30 minutes to an hour, a long time. And because, like, what else are you really going to do? Like, it's a fun drinking game.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just, like, doing other stuff while playing that. And literally, I must have been, like, 12 or 13 shots in at, like, probably, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours in at this point.
Good God.
And so then I have the bright idea because I'm, like, basically, when I'm that drunk, like, I'm cooked, first off.
Dude, yeah.
And I mean, like, and now if I did that, I would probably die. Oh. But like now, back then I was a big back, so I could kind of handle it a little bit better. Because because like 2 things of jungle juice that probably had like 3 shots equivalent.
Yeah, that's devious.
Yeah, it was devious, and so that is when I was like, oh, it'd be a great idea. Let me go take some dabs right now. And so I walk outside, I sit down, I smack 3 dabs back to back.
Good God.
And then I'm like, all right. I just sit there for a second. I take in everything. I walk inside because obviously I was dabbing outside. I look at the ceiling and the entire room is literally spinning in a circle. Like 100, like literally I'm not moving and it literally looks like I'm on a carousel being spun around in a circle.
Jesus
like that's how bad I had like vertigo basically. Yeah, and so literally I'm staring at the ceiling. And the thing is like I don't know if you've really ever been that drunk or had that feeling, but when you're that drunk, you can't close your eyes. Because then it's just 10 times worse. Because then it's like you've got nothing to ground yourself and you're just like turning. You're like, and you're just turning inside your head.
Yeah.
So literally, I get up. I walk downstairs. And I'd say walk. I more like fell down the stairs low key. I walked down the first set of stairs and then I got to the second set and I just fell off of the flight.
Family Guy stare gag fell down.
No, I literally pretty much did, like for real. And then I literally just remember I like bounced up like really fast because I just like shot up because once you're drunk, you're that
invincible,
drunk.
bro.
You are. If you guys get that reference, you're lit. Kisses. So I like springboard myself up, and I literally just remember being like, I'm gonna fucking puke. I'm gonna puke. So I literally stood in front of the toilet. Here's the kicker though. I missed the entire thing.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Like literally I don't think I got a single drop of puke in the toilet. Like I somehow like completely missed it and I was standing over it that entire time. And so what ended up happening is I, threw my fucking brains out and then obviously literally everyone was like, what's going on here? And I'm like, hey man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened, bro. And so they're just like, okay, well, we're just gonna leave you in here to clean it up then. And I was like,
that's fucked up.
I was like, rip. And so literally, I just like put on music because at this point, then I was just like really fucking high, like really cooked. And so literally, I just put down my music. I was vibing, cleaning up puke. And so that was a fucking experience. That was like one of the very first times I ever got really drunk.
Really drunk, yeah. See, I don't think I get like I've only been cross-eyed, not like about as many times as I can count in like one hand.
For real, like, I always smoke when I drink.
I can't. So I like to have a little bit. I don't even like getting plastered drunk unless I'm with like, if it's a party, you know what I mean?
Right.
If I'm going out, I still have to like drive my car, or whatever. And sometimes, I mean, the first time we went out drinking, I did like just house down.
Yeah, you did house down some Angry Orchards.
Those Angry Orchards. And I still don't know why, but those things tasted so good that day.
Oh, I've never had an Angry Orchard. Isn't it literally just like cider?
It's like if apple juice was awesome.
I might need to try one of these.
They're pretty good.
Do they get you kind of cooked?
They get me, so I guess it depends on how many you have.
Ooh.
Not usually. It usually takes like a good 2 or 3 for me to start being like, oh yeah, I'm starting to like, you get like that haze in your brain.
Because my drink is Crown Apple Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love, like, honestly, you drink like 1 Crown Apple Sprite and you will have like a little bit of a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get like 2 or 3 and you're like, whew, I'm feeling good. So that gets me back to the basics. That's where it's like,
sure. Tell you what, yeah. I totally forgot. I mean, no, I didn't. This is our classroom. I didn't.
Oh, this is our classroom. Hey, we are telling them about the basics. We told them about the first couple times we got drunk.
Mm-hmm. Yep. When we learned the basics.
Yeah, when we learned the basics. First off, here's a basic for you. If you're smoking weed while you're drinking, do it before you drink.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good one, actually.
That is my big advice. One thing that's interesting. So I had to do this juvenile probation when I was in high school. Okay. Which, first off, I also have to. That was crazy because that was like a whole ordeal. Because like my high school experience, like I was a valedictorian, straight A student, top of my class, and then obviously they brought like drug dogs to the school one day, and then they're like, "What the hell is going on?" Because when the people that smoke weed are supposed to be like lazy, don't do anything, but like
Stonehands.
it's just not, it's just not true.
Yeah.
And so literally, it's like they were like, "Oh, what the hell is going on here?" So that was like a whole ordeal. Like literally, it was actually so fucking funny when I watched. So like I didn't basically like how my school worked was they like was a college schedule in high school.
Sure.
So you could leave on your breaks, and sometimes they'd be like an hour long or whatever. So I left my car there because I went with someone else. Got back, and the dogs were there, and so I missed my last class of the day or whatever because I was basically getting arrested, not actually arrested, but like like
detained
cooked.
or whatever.
Yeah, basically cooked. And so when I came back to that class, because I got suspended for like 3 days, which also that was hilarious too, because they just did it. They literally did not know what to do with me because obviously most of the time when people get suspended, they're like failing every class, like delinquent, like about to like drop out of school or like something.
Yeah.
And so I had all straight A's, all my assignments were done. And so literally like all the other kids, they were like, you need to be doing stuff. And I watched YouTube all day. So like my out of school suspension was actually just a joke.
It was just chilling.
Like it was literally just me chilling.
Yeah.
Like I just watched YouTube and just vibed, and everyone else had to do work.
That's pretty sick.
But they were like, I was like, I have nothing to do, and they were like, well, you have nothing to do, so
yeah, fuck it.
They were like, fuck it, yeah, I can't do anything. But literally, I get pulled up, and when I walked into this class a couple days later, or whatever, 3 days later, every single person stood up and started clapping, and they were like, free my boy. They're like, free my boy, let him out. Woo, woo. And I was like, there is no way that this is fucking happening right now. This is crazy. And the funny thing is, ironically, because like everyone, like all the teachers were like, oh my God, this is going to ruin your reputation. And I was like, bro, hell no. I was like, that shit made me
what do you mean? That shit boosted
boosted me the fuck up, bro. Like everyone thought that was the funniest, because they were like,
well,
they were like, it's fucking, they were like, what the fuck? Why is he the one that's getting? It's fucking DK, bro. What the hell?
What bullshit is this?
Yeah, it's fucking DK. What the hell? It's like I see him on all the shit, because like I was in also like jazz choir, band, jazz band. Like I was like in fucking everything you could perform in pretty much at the time. So everyone was like, what the hell? But I just wrote out my time on probation. But what I learned,
he did his time. That's crazy.
The basics of probation. Here's something crazy too. Before I started, okay, they told me I was gonna get drug tested every week, but I kind of like low-key conned the cops because, first off, master manipulator here. I literally, obviously at this point, I think I had been smoking consistently like every day, like for probably not 2 years, like a year, I want to say, because I think I started, that was my senior year, and I think I started, the first time I ever smoked was my sophomore or junior year, one of those two things. And so, but I literally like conned them and was like, oh yeah, no, it was like, okay, keep in mind what they found in my car was 2 cart boxes, the top of a wax pen, which I don't think they ever opened because they didn't charge me for having wax at all. And then they found like this bag that had like, basically I bought stuff the day before, like bud, and it was the little bit of shake that was in the bag from transferring it out of it or whatever. Like, like whatever is left once you transfer it all into a container. And so like that's all the stuff they found. And I convinced them that was the very first time that I had ever tried it.
Unbelievable. What kind of shit is that?
Like, I mean, like you literally, that's just like, literally like fucking crazy. And I mean, part of it probably was because my mom's like insane. And so, I guess like my brother and this police officer had like history, not like because like he's a bad kid or whatever, but because like, he's got like some sensory issues or whatever. Sure. And the people here just don't know how to deal with that. So they'd be like, Like, this is the type of place where, like, people with autism, they would lock in a closet.
Yeah, for real.
Like, I'm not even joking. There was a kid with Down syndrome, and they actually locked him in the closet when I was in elementary school.
That's crazy.
And we would hear him screaming from the closet.
No,
I'm not joking. We would literally hear, let me out, and pounding on the door.
That's just fucking Thomas.
It was actually terrible, bro. It was actually terrible.
Like, yeah, he causes a racket, but we love him.
We just leave him there, you know how it is.
Anytime we get an intruder, we let him out, let him rock around.
I'm telling you, bro, that shit. This is literally the state where shit like that happens. That's fucking. It's crazy. Yeah, and so, crazy. I mean, like, instead of dealing with it like like people that are trained to, they just like tried to restrain him, and he obviously freaked the fuck out because touching somebody with sensory disorder and then like trying to give them a bear hug is gonna like
that's definitely gonna set them off.
Yeah, literally like make them go insane.
Spray the hose.
Yeah, literally. I mean, that's literally like the mentality that they were going with pretty much. And so like he had beef, or not beef, but like they had history, and so he wasn't supposed to be like interact with me or something. And I don't know if that was part of it, or if like I genuinely just like because the thing is if you looked at it from an outside perspective, you probably would think, if you think, you really have to put yourself in the mindset of growing up in the 1960s and everybody else thinks like that is older than 30 here.
Jesus
like
Christ.
Literally, like everyone else that's older than 30 thinks that weed is like literally like gonna fucking kill you.
It'll like melt your
like
insides.
you're gonna fucking die, or like it's a gateway drug to doing fucking like heroin or crack. Like, I mean, my mom would literally be like, if you start smoking weed, that is just, you're gonna start dropping out of school, you're gonna start doing,
you're going to burn in hell.
And so like literally, like if you look at it from an outside perspective with that mentality, yeah, you wouldn't think that I probably smoke weed because, oh yeah, I was straight A student,
straight
blah,
A's,
blah, blah.
Sure.
But it's like, yeah, that has nothing to do with it. Because first off, high school is a fucking joke.
For real.
Like, it is actually a joke. Like, college compared to high school is not even close. Like, it's seriously not even close. And I think that I was lucky that I had a closer college experience because of like the way our schedule laid out and shit.
So,
and we had to be more independent, but
this is actually an interesting thing about. So this is kind of off topic from your like weed story.
No, go ahead.
But here's some basics for you. Just because you're not thriving like in one spot, where everybody's telling you you should be, doesn't mean that you won't dominate somewhere else.
Right.
And I bring that up because DK here, he's saying how he was a, don't mind that, by the way. That's our helicopter.
Don't worry.
That's the Tesla coil that we have.
That's the PhD copter. You hear that?
PhD copter.
That's oh no. Hey, if you guys remember, that's what we're gonna use to pick you up the winner of the test each week.
That's right. We're gonna come to you with that helicopter.
Anyways, continue.
So I wasn't like the best at school.
Right.
I was C student average. I had the occasional D.
Yeah.
Given the occasional D. But I realized the more and more I went through it, the classes that I wasn't doing good in were classes that I like just didn't care about.
Right.
Because in college they were tougher courses, but I was thriving.
Right.
I got,
because it's something you actually want to do and you're interested in.
Passionate about, something I cared about doing.
And that's like one thing that I really don't like about the American education system, especially, is, yeah, you can get a taste of everything, but because it's not specialized, you have a lot of people who like feel like they are literally worthless because they're like for example, okay, you might be bad at math, but you might be like the best artist in the world, but because you're failing math, you might not be able to graduate.
Right.
And it's like, okay, maybe that's not like,
yeah.
Obviously you need some basic math skills, but if they're going to be an artist, or whatever, like, come on, like.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing, is I was never going to go into, so I did really good in like my English classes and like my science classes, but of course, like my art classes, I was thriving in. And those were stuff where I was like, because it came so easy to me and I wasn't doing great in like math or whatever.
Right.
So to me, it was like, well, of course I'm doing good in art. Fucking everybody can do good in art.
Right.
But it wasn't until later when I reflected and I was like, and I saw the people I was sitting next to who had that same mentality, but didn't have like, couldn't actually do art. You know what I mean?
Right.
because they were failing on art class, and every time I was like, how? You just draw the picture.
I genuinely had issues passing an art class because I can't draw. Like, I cannot fucking draw. Like, for real. Like, I'm a pretty creative and artistic person with music, with, like, ideas and graphics that I can come up with. But, like, as far as being able to draw, I could, like, give you an idea, but I could not put it down on paper. Like, I cannot draw it. Like, and that's always been my my struggle. Because I have a lot of ideas in my head that I would like to have, like, drawn out, but I don't know how to explain it, and I can't do it. And so it's just like it just stays in my brain.
Yeah, that's actually, so that is interesting. I mean, that project over there, right? I'm not to toot my own horn. I do know how to draw,
right?
And I have like an understanding of it. Unfortunately,
Placeholder's an expert drawer, so
that's right.
He's tooting his own horn. It's okay.
I use AI for everything.
Actually. Yeah, he actually does.
I've never once picked up a pencil.
Yeah.
But so I have a very distinct style because all of my like drawing is pretty much self-taught. I mean, I understand like shading and all of that and whatever, but I haven't like studied like a style. Not like closely enough to be able to replicate that. It's my own like style, and it has its own recognizable. You can recognize when it's like my thing specifically, which is cool. But that being said, like with the whole self-taught thing I am always improving it, and there's never a point where I'm like drawing something and I'm like, this is like the best thing. Like this is great. I mean, obviously you make stuff, I'm sure even with just music.
Right.
You're like, yeah, this is definitely my current magnum opus is kind of like the way I see it is like currently with my skill level, this is the best I can do.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff like that. And then when you go back and you're like, you know, let's say a year later and you're still improving that craft and you're still working on it, and you can go back and you can see like, wow, this was the best I could do now, or like this is the best that it used to be, and then you crank something out that's better, and then you like sort of not compare, because I feel like
you're like competing with yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or that's your proof that you're improving.
I think like one thing that my professor told me, and I keep this like, this is one basic thing that I keep locked in all the time. If your taste is better than your current skill level, then that means that you're always going to be improving. Like if whatever vision you have, if you're like, I want to do this, but I don't have the skills for it yet, that means eventually you are going to have the skills to do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes, you're going to get there. And so it's literally just because like the thing is, you can teach yourself, like whether it's drawing, whether it's music production, whether it's, you know, photography, fucking anything, you know, making a podcast, you can teach yourself the basics and just work from there. You can start from nothing, because especially, I mean, with the internet now, we have just so many resources. Like you can find a video anywhere telling you how to do this hobby or this hobby or this hobby. Like you could probably think of the most obscure thing, like, I don't know, fucking like long oak, like whittling or something. You could find the video on that. I'm sure you could.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing, right, about like kind of that drive and like improving your skill. I guess a couple things is that you have basically unlimited resources.
Yep.
It's all about whether you want not to make it there, but if that's something you're not only interested in, it's something that you want to improve in because it's, you know, what you want to do.
Right.
But also understanding that putting in the time will not pay out until later.
Yes.
That's like another, again, a lesson that I've come to learn as I've moved out here, is that even is the best that I thought even just a couple months ago, some of the stuff I'm being able to like make now, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, damn, I don't even know when I got to be able to draw like.
And like one thing that like kind of goes to hand with that is like oh no, forgot what I was gonna say. You literally lost it. Yep, gone.
All right. That's all those
Totally gone.
the 35 concussions.
Bro, no, literally.
You.
Oh God, no, it was a good point too. Um, oh, kind of to go hand in hand with that. If you don't care about it, like you said, and you're not willing, like if it's not something you're passionate about, you might as well find something else that you want to actually put your time into because no matter what, if you aren't passionate about it, you are not going to get the best version of it and be the best version of yourself.
I absolutely. And even to bring it back to even the very beginning of what we were talking about in this podcast, if you are out to make art to make money, you will be fine. You can make trash and make a ton of money.
Right.
But if you want to be remembered and to impact the world, it is all about passion.
Yep.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, that's something that AI will never be able to achieve. Is the struggle it took for your soul to be pasted onto the page, or vocalized through rhythm and song.
No, literally.
It's impossible to replicate that soul into something.
And I mean, that's like honestly the thing that is really like the most important is like you just really have to stick to it. You have to, I always say, make art. No, no matter what that is. And it doesn't even have to be art. It could be a business. Let's say you have a business and you got a t-shirt business. Okay, make your t-shirt business. Make your I don't know. I can't think of any other businesses, but let's just say, as long as you are dedicated, you are willing to put the work in, and you put the time in. The work will come, and the success and the money will eventually follow. Like it might take time, because like you said, you can definitely churn out. Because I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like you definitely there are a bunch of artists where they have to just make a bunch of art that they don't want to make for commissions and stuff like that because they need to make money. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the real you can definitely tell where their real passion and everything comes out is in their stuff. And then when you start to see that, the success will follow you. You just have to really speak and
that's tough about kind of. You should definitely lean into where your strengths are naturally, best. Because I don't think I could ever run a business.
Right.
But I can do this stuff,
Right.
Because it just comes a little easier for me. But I think finding success in that will eventually find completion. Because I probably could figure out how to make a t-shirt business or whatever.
Right.
And then make it successful, but I don't think it would fulfill me as much as the art forms,
That's the thing is are your needs, I think about this all the time. Yeah, you can make X amount of money, you can make Y amount of money, or you can be completely broke and all your needs that you want, everything that you need spiritually, all the basic things to your soul really. You still have those things versus when you're rich, you could be really rich, just sell out, not have any
screw people over,
not have any single part of yourself that you had none of that creative spark. You're just churning out
slop
to just turn out slop. How happy, how fulfilled are you really gonna be at the end of that road? You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. There's so many and I mean it's YouTubers, artists, everything. You can tell the people that just put out content to put out content versus the people that put out content to
for
entertainment.
Or
content
the passion of it.
Yeah, right. Content for money versus content for entertainment and passion. Yeah. And we just really need to get back to that. Really what we need to get back to.
And that seems to be, in this big circle way, our point. The basics are learn about yourself.
Learn about yourself.
And make sure that you understand how to further yourself on that basic like drive. If your calling in life is to make fucking furry hentai, dude, whatever.
Right. Make it.
And make it. But make it good though.
Right. Make it real fucking good. And make a bag off of making it good.
Yep.
But
that's
the
always
way you want to
fun.
do it.
Exactly. But don't just sell your soul to make a buck,
Yeah, no.
We got enough of that. None of these people seem very happy with themselves, and it's very obvious that they're pouring it down on us. All of us.
True. You want to wrap her up here?
Yeah, you know what? I think we made it full circle. I think we touched on our basics for the most part. That's the helicopter coming down. That's our yacht, actually.
Just some reminders before we go. Remember, there is going to be a test at the end of every single week. I'm getting this week's up, or last week's up will be up before you hear this, so this doesn't really apply, but it will be up. I think we could do maybe we could drop the test on Friday, so they have a couple days to listen to it, and then on Friday, first submission gets it all right, and they have to leave a comment on Instagram.
Okay.
And like our post.
Yeah. And also you have to compliment us. You have to say nice things about us too.
You have to say nice things. Not necessarily to us, but
about us.
About us.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're posting Wednesdays 6 p.m. This last week there was a little issue with the processing because I don't know, it's just so stupid. But that won't happen this week. So you'll be listening to this at 6 p.m.
Hopefully.
And then the next week after at 6 p.m. And if you're not, what the fuck are you doing? You're not
then
learning.
Burn and die. Burn and die.
Exactly. Get out of here.
Okay.
And so.
Good. Oh, wait. Sorry, was that the end of that?
Yeah, that's the end.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Peace out.